Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where you'll notice we're currently playing as the US, and there's a reason for that. I've made no changes here, but I loaded up the game, and both of the armies that we have here apparently got stack wiped. I checked the recording, and I never looked up here for the last few days, so back at the autosave they were already stack wiped, so at 1 September. I really didn't think that that would be the case with a level 10 supply base, or a level 10 and a level 9 naval base, and these troop counts. And to see the troop counts here, this is why I tagged in, just to see what kind of troop levels they had over here. And the answer is almost nothing. I really didn't think they'd be able to stack wipe us over here, but I guess they did? We'll head back into Brazil here, because you can see we couldn't see the numbers there, so I wanted to know what kind of numbers they had to be able to stack wipe this. No more than I thought they had. So I'm wondering, did our supply line get broken? It's not currently broken. That doesn't mean anything, but it's not currently broken. Yeah, I don't know what happened up here, but I guess this invasion fully failed. Okay, I tried to piece together what happened up here. The best thing that I can come up with is our supply lines broke. And then they stack wiped us that way. That's the best idea that I can come up with. But ultimately, this was going to be always kind of a bit of a distraction unless we pushed up over here and managed to get the state up this way, which we didn't do with the invasion. So, I mean, I guess, sure. That's a problem, but it's something that we didn't really need to have go off successfully for this to work. So, okay. That's the situation we're in here. We're going to get some nukes going over here, and we're working on getting up to the front lines properly over here. I would love to get some nukes going over this way. However, our planes that we put in here, they aren't ready to go just yet. So we'll wait on that and let that happen a bit. Also, I would love to get our hands on this airbase. That would be amazing. But for now, we are just working on moving these guys in. And you can see we took a few losses over here. We should be able to replace those fairly soon. So that should be good, in theory. But you can definitely see we're stressing this supply zone pretty heavily. And the core problem here, of course, is one of, hello pause menu, is one of infrastructure. So we will work on that. And I guess this up here, it's just going to go away for now. Not too much that we can do. They managed to stack wipe us up here, and we would have to re-naval invade. We might do that later on, but for now, that's not going to be a thing. We have managed to push up over here. That's great. We're going to drop a nuke here. There we go. And we're going to drop another one up here. Just get these guys taken care of nice and quick. Now, they don't have any supply flow left, so this should be a very, very easy stack wipe for us. There we go. Problem solved. Excellent. Unfortunately, losing 2 armies up here does hurt us pretty badly. But, I mean, yeah, you can see our losses went up pretty dramatically from that. I just wish I had noticed this happening. I never noticed it. That's just all there is to it. Kind of my own fault, but I also kind of feel like it should throw up notifications when things like that are happening. But, I mean, I can't really blame the game too much for that, in all honesty. I really can't. So, we're going to do some coughing, apparently. But we're also going to grab this territory up here, and we're going to push in over this way. We have pushed them back a little bit. We're going to continue to nuke over here. This is, of course, vitally important to us that these nukes are continuing to support us in this push. So there we go. Excellent. Now, we could run a war support, but honestly, I feel like there's not really a huge amount of point to it. So we're just going to continue moving in over here and pushing these guys back. What we really need is access to built infrastructure up here. That is the top priority right now. But we'll see if that ends up happening. As far as the air war over here, Things are pretty even. Who's in New England? Okay. Guess some of these bombers are bombing New England. That's fine. I don't necessarily hate that. And we've definitely improved our air superiority over here, and we're taking territory. So this is the important thing up here. As far as this down here goes, we are going to continue to do as much damage to their manpower reserves as possible. Getting Mexico out of this war would actually be a huge deal for us. How many divisions does Mexico have? It feels like it's a lot. Only 33 to 39. That surprises me. Canada has more. Okay. I definitely expected Mexico to have more than that, but we have done a lot of damage to them recently, so that probably has something to do with it. So we're going to keep supporting that. And our invasion up here is still going swimmingly. We do have some unassigned divisions over here. We're going to send them to Canada, naturally. And there is a naval invasion going on over here, which I think we'll have under control. Yeah, this looks fine. Mexico's kind of desperate to be sending those in, honestly. And, I mean, we do have a bit of lack of control in the Caribbean Sea. Yeah, I mean, we just have a pretty major lack of iron right now, and to that end, I'd kind of like to move this unit of modern tanks. Let's see, I want to double check here. There are a few cruisers and submarines up at higher levels. Actually, what I want to do is I want to have it, I think, like this, and then move these guys down. For now, I feel like we don't need any of those. We have plenty of rocket interceptors. We can probably just cancel this production line, but I'll keep it for now. Okay, so the modern AAs can then come down over here. And I know that we're not going to be getting any progress on these. That's okay. We're also a bit short on chromium. That's to be expected, really. Okay, so let's see if we can do any trading for steel and chromium. We can actually get a bunch from Brazilian Turkey. That's a big deal. And then India is currently trading a lot of theirs. Okay, chromium from Brazilian Turkey, of course. That'll be fine. Let's do that. So that'll help our situation pretty dramatically. That's good. We also have these infantry divisions that we will toss in to Canada over here. Fantastic. We're going to continue to push this line. And what we really need at this point, we're not putting any more into garrisons, but what we really, really need at this point is infrastructure up here. This is the top we have it. The top priority. Get that constructed. Yes, I know that it's going to be delayed by attacks now and then, but just get that done. Okay. So that's underway. That is a huge, huge deal. As far as this down here goes, honestly, it feels like we have them on the run in the south. Like, this is going very well down here. I do want to check in on infrastructure situations down here. Yeah, we should definitely queue these up. I'm making these kind of low priority queue ups, though. And anti-air is looking good. Okay. Sounds good. So we're going to continue to press in from the south. Of course, we are going to need to expand this faction. Who are these guys? Oh yeah, that's these. We're going to need to expand this army group over here once we start widening this front. That is definitely something that we'll need to do. And we do have, like, these guys who really probably should just be moved into this army group and assigned to this front. Let's just get them over here. There we go. So they're on their way. Additional reinforcements coming in. And we don't have air superiority. Ah, we're pushing past Yucatan. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. Sounds good. We're going to go ahead and drop another nuke here because we can. And then we'll kind of take a bit of a breather down here. We have a bunch of air bases that will need to be repaired. We should probably go through here and find those. Let's see. Anything over here of note? Yes. Okay, so here's this airbase. Perfect. What else do we want? Definitely the anti-air guns, and definitely the infrastructure. Same thing with the infrastructure here, the air base, and the anti-air guns. Those are all incredibly important to us right now. Air base, anti-air guns, infrastructure, all top priorities. This one is maybe a little less top priority. We'll just do that for now. Actually, we'll get all of that done. And anti-air gun, sounds good. Guatemalan anti-air guns, airbase, yup, that's all very important. And El Salvador infrastructure is important as well. Okay, sounds good. So we'll get that all underway. And that is, of course, in preparation for pushing into the Transvolcanic Belt over here. So that's a big, big deal. As far as this push over here goes, the question becomes, what is the infrastructure construction actually like here? 3 November. So we're making progress. That's very good. Very, very good. A lot of our infrastructure and other repairs are finishing up behind the scenes as well, but we want to prioritize these over here for sure. And where's our third army at? They're actually not here. They're a ways away. They just embarked, and they're heading over the Pacific. So that'll take them some time to get here. Unsurprising, and also unsurprising that we're getting pushed back a little bit over here. This infantry division can hop into this army for now. Excellent. We are a little bit short on manpower. We're hoping that that will change fairly soon. What is our monthly manpower income at this point? 101,000? Okay. It feels like that's probably better than what the US is getting. I didn't look when we were tagged in there because that's information that we technically shouldn't have. But the US does have a lot of manpower. Of course, they are scraping the barrel. So that's really, really good for us. We want to keep chunking down this manpower as much as possible. Is any of this within the Yucatan Air Zone? Yes. Excellent. So we're going to get some nukes done. Fantastic. There we go. And we are making progress. Now, as far as this up here goes, how is the air war going? We're making gains in the air war, so that is definitely good to know. And we do have this infantry division that we can send over to Canada, and so we shall. These guys, they are not currently assigned to anything. We're going to move them into this army as well, and we're going to have them come on over. Excellent. Now we are potentially concerned about supplies over here. Yeah, we're definitely potentially concerned about supplies in this area. That's the thing. And you can see our manpower reserves are dwindling. How's Canada's manpower? They have basically none, and Mexico has less than we do. As usual, the US is the threat here. Okay. So, now that we're down to 2 fronts, that does make things potentially easier. We're definitely outproducing the US. I'm very curious how much manpower they're gaining per month. Unfortunately, we don't seem to have that info. That's their deployed army manpower. Okay. So they can replace their army like 8 to 12 times over. We definitely can't do that with our army. That's a potential problem. And these guys can go ahead and hop into this force. Fantastic. These guys, we're just going to toss them over to the European Coast Guard. We can always pull troops from over there if we need to. Okay. Just double checking that all of that is under control, and indeed it is. Perfect. How's our construction on Quebec's infrastructure going? Almost done with one level of construction. That's great. This looks like this hasn't even been substantially delayed because we've been attacking them. They've not been attacking us. Yeah, I'm very pleased about that. That's going to be finished right now. So we now have more supplies over here than we had before. Not by a huge margin, but by some margin. Now we need to find Quebec's infrastructure in here, and here it is. We need to prioritize repairing that. That is a high priority for us. We want to keep that under repair, and of course, there's more infrastructure that's going to be damaged, so in theory, that should just stay there. Let's check in on the situation down here. In the air war, you can see... This is a naval war. In the air war, you can see we've been pushed back a little bit over here again. So this is just a great opportunity to even up the manpower a little bit with our nukes. Fantastic. We're going to keep on doing that. We are looking for stack wipes here. That would be the ideal scenario. But even without that, the fact of the matter is this is draining a lot of their manpower. Like a whole lot of their manpower. And our manpower situation is getting better and better every day as compliance improves. So we're up to 101,000 per month in terms of manpower, and that is great. Excellent. Okay, so that should be sufficient nukage for now, I feel like. They have a lot over here, that's unsurprising. Now then, our additional forces over here are still on their way. Our reinforcements will take some time to get there. But once our additional numbers arrive, we are expecting a pretty substantial amount of supply flow necessity over here. And we can definitely see that we've got some infrastructure bottlenecks over this way, and we're working on it. We are actively working on those infrastructure bottlenecks, so that should be alleviated in theory. In Quebec, we have managed to build another level of infrastructure. Always great. And we're just going to continue to push in here. But yeah, we desperately need those levels of infrastructure. Did we push these guys back? We did. This airbase is about to become ours. Wait, what? We were working on technology sharing? I didn't realize that. It feels like we shouldn't have been. I thought that we were working on resistance suppression. Okay, well that's what we're gonna do, is resistance suppression. Oh, you know what? I know what happened there. When I tagged into the US and started the recording, it ticked a little bit. And the AI changed our focus. That's what happened there. Yeah, that'll happen. Fair enough. I kind of deserve it. But yeah, this airbase is about to be ours, and how much damage does it have? None, allegedly. Well, they did move reinforcements in over here, but we're still winning. Interesting. Regardless, supplies in Quebec should be getting constantly better. Honestly, as should supplies down over here. That said, we have pushed up a decent amount, and we've lost these locations, so we may as well cause additional manpower crises. Cool. Okay, so as far as the US goes, 9 to 13 million. So they're still mobilizing from scraping the barrel, I think. That said, there's definitely an argument to be made that we can bump up ours. We would need more war support for that. There's no doubt about that one. It wouldn't necessarily be a terrible idea. That said, I'd like to avoid it if at all possible. Because all adults serve, yeah, it would give us an additional 20% recruitable population. And actually, now that I look at the way that this is laid out, this is the single most efficient jump. Construction speed... Okay, so it's a 20% malice to construction speed, factory output, dockyard output, and training time. Training time doesn't matter. Those others might. That said, if you don't have people to man the guns that you're making, right? I feel like all adults serve might be the correct place to sit because that's a 10% jump. That is doubling our recruitable population, whereas this is only a 5% jump. And scraping the barrel is a bad place to be, in my opinion. All adults serve not so much. We do need 70% war support on this, though. Oh, and the estimated enemy strength ratio isn't actually even enough. So we can't even do that. Okay, well, that's good to know. How are we doing in the air war up here now? Okay, we haven't technically liberated this airbase yet. But we will soon. And that's great. Now they've managed to get additional troops in here. Unsurprising, and they won't last long. When will we arrive? If I can select these. Looks like not for a little while. In fact, not for quite a while. But I think that we are going to end up taking this, and that's great. Now, once we manage to push up to here, the question becomes, what is our actual plan up here? Because at this point, we need to widen our front over this way, I feel like, and take over all of this territory. I feel like that's the idea, is this would be a much shorter line for us, in theory, than like this or, you know, something way awkward. Yeah, I feel like that would be the overall concept, and these guys would be kind of waiting for our Central American push to get a little bit stronger. So our airbase is back over here. That starts becoming the question. British Honduras is a little bit of a distance. However, I feel like this is a good place to put these jet fighters. So we're going to take them up there, and we're going to tell them to do like that. Okay. That gives us currently full air superiority up here, just on its own. Will it stay that way? Probably not. But we need to take advantage of this while we can. Okay. Excellent. And we are going to be hitting, what, 2 different air bases here with nukes? Or only the one? Only the one, I think. We can nuke these air bases back here as well. Okay, so we're going to do this number. Get them pushed back as far as possible, so that we can take control of some of these resources over here. And by resources, I mean the airbase and the infrastructure. That's the only thing we're currently interested in, unless they have steel, but, I mean, we're going to push our way up through here anyway, whether they have steel or not. There's a little bit of steel over here, I suppose. But, yeah, I mean, this is all going to be a thing. We definitely want to push into US proper, though. As long as we're fighting Canada and Mexico, I feel like we are in a bit of a waste in terms of time because of the manpower differential. That's the core problem here. Okay. We do have these armies starting to arrive, and that's great. Very, very pleased about that. And how is our air war going over here? Actually, we still have full air supremacy over here. That's cool. I'm very pleased about that. And we'll continue to nuke some of these regions. And let's take a look at those losses, shall we? They're almost to 70 mil. Our losses are at 31 mil, of course. They've lost more than twice as much as we have in manpower. So we're very, very pleased about that, but we need to step up those numbers if we want to chip through all of the US's manpower before we start running into critical crises. I just noticed the US is 100% fascist. Well, that's neat. And with that, it is time to put a cut in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we are going to continue pushing our way in to the big boss. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.